Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hi, everybody. I want to start today's reflection and contemplation with a prayer. So, whatever prayer means to you, whatever words you use to connect with that which created all that is creator, higher power, God, source. As a divine, spiritual, human family, we open our heart today, our human heart, and our grateful hearts as we pause for a time of contemplation, reflection, for learning. We gather in a deep sense of peace and love, possibility, potential. We're grateful for this time, this work, grateful for all the ways that we get to be and become the greatest iteration of ourselves. So prayerfully, we consider a new potential. And we go about this listening honestly, gently, and we acknowledge God, power, source, the one mind, the intelligence that is present in and through and as us and in all things. And that this time, this very now moment, is a sacred time. So we're going to treat it accordingly with a deep bow, with love and respect. And then settle in to a presence and embracing Christ consciousness. And we begin now, again and again and again. Thank you. So be it. Amen. Okay, I'm looking again at something that's been so meaningful to me over the years, which is inspired by a book called The Five Invitations. And I've used it many, many times over the years for courses and work and in my own reflections and things like that. So the tenets of the book include don't wait. So the invitations life is giving us, life is offering us to us, encouraging us, like then don't wait. Don't wait. So think about what you've waited for. I'm going to wait till summer comes. I'm going to wait till summer's over. I'm going to wait till winter comes. I'm going to wait till the kids leave the house. I'm going to wait till um, um, I save a certain amount of money. So I hear this. I was with dear friends just a few weeks ago, and we normally do jigsaw puzzles when I'm with them, and they didn't have a jigsaw puzzle out to work on because we sit around the kitchen table and do this puzzle, and it uses a different part of our brain, which I enjoy, and I feel like it balances my brain some. And I said, where's the puzzle? Like, why don't we have the puzzle out? And he said, oh no, I only do puzzles in the winter. I'm like, why? He said, I don't know. It's a winter thing. Like, I don't put them out on the table. I'm usually outdoors. And I'm like, are you actually outdoors? It's 100 degrees. Like, so part of this is breaking out of these habits, out of these patterns. I'm starting a new immersive process, an 8-month process this month in September, actually. And it goes over a period of 8 months and ends in April. And folks are enrolling in it. And this lady said, I'm in a discernment process about whether I'm going to do it or not, because I want to save money for my retirement. And I really am called to do this program, but I'm really on a roll of shoring up me a nest egg and things like that. So that's an example of how the mind will hear it as all or nothing, or one or the other. Like, I can't say for retirement and enroll in a spiritual development program. So not to wait on something. So yes, I can enroll in a spiritual development program and still put money away for my retirement. It's not one or the other. So what is it you're waiting on? And what's the cost to you? And if you embraced the truth that all things are inevitably going to end, I'd be more encouraged today not to wait on something that brought more life to me, that brought more vitality to me, that made my tail wag some. So this don't wait for me also gets me clearer and clearer about how much time that I'm spending, or dare I say, wasting on less meaningful activities or even meaningless activities, of how much time gets spent scrolling, or how much time gets spent doing what I've always done, instead of interrupting a pattern and saying, I'm going to do this differently now. So while we can associate a decision like this, an impermanence, so to speak, it's not all about loss. It's about being and becoming what interests me. It's about being and becoming the greatest iteration of myself, being and becoming the Christ consciousness within me. So just as there is a constant dissolving of something, the impermanence is there, of course, there's also a constant becoming, being and becoming. So the sages have told us we cannot step in the same river twice. So I can take more mindful, informed action today to create conditions that are more capable of providing me more uplift, more vitality, more tail wag than anything I've had before. Invitation number 2 is welcome everything, push nothing away. Whew. Sound easy? So I can't really welcome everything yet. I don't go, oh, yay, yay, yay. However, not to push it away, not to resist it, holds a great, great deal of empowerment. So I can accept that I can't accept things. When I can't accept it, I accept that I can't accept it yet. And I know for sure that acceptance is the act of opening up to discomfort, opening up to painful feelings and sensations. And I know that suppressing, depressing, disowning, and denying them perpetuate it and don't get me where I want to go in it. So I can comprehend that acceptance is the linchpin. And as hard as it is to believe, acceptance can open different opportunities for me. Different opportunities open up when I change from resisting something to, this is the way it is, this is what is, and what can a sane, sensible person do? Me as a sane, sensible person, what can I do in this situation right here? What's in front of me is a more empowered, more peaceful, more collaborative, more thoughtful way to be with it. And Rumi, a quote from Rumi that I ponder regularly was, the moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door will open. The moment you accept what's been given, the troubles, the situation, the circumstance, the door will open. Acceptance as the linchpin. And Eckhart Tolle, and I put that in the write-up for this week, says it as, whenever a loss occurs, even tragedy, you either resist it or you yield. Some people will become bitter, more hard, more rigid, more cynical, resentful, angry, irritated, frustrated. Others become more compassionate, more understanding, more wise, more peaceful, more understanding, more compassionate, more understanding, more wise, 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 more understanding, more compassionate, more understanding more powerful, more loving. So this yielding means an inner acceptance to what I cannot change, an inner acceptance of what I don't have the power to change. Accepting opens up an empowerment to that. So change what I can, accept what I cannot. Doors open. Invitation 3. Bring your whole self to the experience. Bring your whole self to the experience. So, what does it mean for you? It's common and perfectly natural to get caught up in the grips of fear, defensiveness, controlling, unavailability, irritability. Absolutely, we lose patience with ourselves and with others. And there's a part of us that is always wanting to feel safe. So we cling to these roles, the roles that we took on, most of us in childhood, and their established rules and their behaviors. And the roles are not good or bad, positive or negative. They're primarily functional. And they provide us with some needed predictability in our lives, even when it comes to personal and interpersonal relationships. And roles also are actually a choice. When I choose to be in a role, even an old one, an old paradigm, I'm also making the choice not to be in another role. So we are first and foremost spiritual beings. Whew. So the work here is to work with our humanness, with all of its complexity and fragility and the wonder, even for me, the mystery of what life actually encompasses. And when I only look at it through the lens of a certain role, it narrows down my vision. I don't see people and things as they actually are. I see them according to what I fear or what I'm projecting onto them, what I doubt about them. And it's not possible then for me to bring my whole self to a situation if I'm not seeing things and people as they actually are, but rather as the story that I'm projecting onto them. So for me to bring my whole self to it means that I don't disown any of my parts, that I don't repress and suppress and disown and disconnect from this part of me that's looking to feel better, that's looking to feel safe and powerful and valuable. All the while, it doesn't feel safe, powerful, valuable, even lovable at times. So for me to bring my whole self to an experience means that I bring all of me, the alpha and omega, the sadness to a situation. And a few weeks ago in my preparation for another talk, I remember reading that Jesus wept, at the grave of his friend. And the power of that, like to say, well, oh my God, that doesn't even make sense. Like if there's no death, if there's eternal life, if there's infinite life, then how could I be sad? It's like, I'm sad because my friend is in the grave. I'm free. I'm sad because I didn't get to go to somebody's wedding, or an illness took me out of a travel plan or something like that. So this pain is wanting to be exposed, and the healing agent of understanding, the healing agent of loving kindness meets it wherever it is to say, okay, this is my whole self. It includes sadness, it includes tears, it includes crying, it includes exhaustion at times, it includes doubt, bewilderment, it includes these things that I have made negative. I've said, no, they're so negative. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Instead of saying that's included in my human learning processes. That's included in my human beingness. So that all of that is part of my wholeness, and my higher functioning requires me to bring all of that, my whole self, to life, to meet life on its terms and to the situations of life. Invitation number 4 is maybe, it's hard to say I have a favorite, but this one certainly did change everything for me and still does. And it is to find rest in the middle of all things. Find a place to rest in the middle of all things. So, in the losses, in the griefs, in the despair, in the fast changing pace the world is in the media, in the over saturation of awfulness, how to find a place to rest in that. And I say it a little differently in that what has made me, I think, have the stamina that I do, an uncommon stamina to do the work that I do and to continue the work that I do, is I have found a way to rest while I work. So, what would that look like in you? To rest while you work. So that I don't lose touch with the rhythms of nature. And for me, practically, it means to unplug, stand up, walk around, get some water. It may mean when deep emotion arises, to stop and give it some care and some attention instead of trying to distract myself or to deny that it's there, push it away, to let the tears flow, for example. That kind of immediate relief can come. It may mean to pause for a few minutes of meditation, to read something that's inspiring to me. A big breath, a big exhale, a letting go, a stepping back. And one of the women that's enrolling in this coursework with me said, whew, I had to take a year off from that because personal development is full of effort. I got worn out with personal development. I got worn out with spiritual development. I had to back up from it and take some time away from it. And of course, she was being playful, and she also speaks to what we can do if we keep being hard on ourselves. You know, one more heavy weighted, I've got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to get this done. So this workaholism without pausing for some breath, some rest. Watch a bird fly. The hummingbirds at the feeders can do it for me. Watering the plants. So a way to rest in the middle of the work. A way to rest while I work. And how to find a place of rest in the middle of whatever's going on. And the last invitation is, I've spent decades and decades and decades at it. Cultivate a I don't know mind. I don't know mind. I don't know what all this means. I don't know why and how this had to happen. I don't know why or how I ended up in the family I did. We're so different. I don't know how or why that I had a desire to go on to college and get degrees, and my family didn't value that. They didn't finish even high school. My daddy finished or quit school at fourth or fifth grade, and my mother eighth grade. Even my brothers, who are younger than me, quit as soon as they legally could at age 16. And I had this insatiable desire to learn, to grow, and I'm still in it. Like all these decades later, still, still in a learning mode, a growing mode, and I don't know mind. And one of my coaches years and years ago said, that don't know mind is your cross to bear. And I remember being panicked when I heard that, like, oh gosh, it is, because it's gotta think, gotta figure it out, contemplate, ask, read. And then I realized years later that it's not a cross to bear. It's actually a superpower. It's the opposite of that. The I don't know mind. And in very practical terms, when people do something that shocks me or that I'm hurt by or something like that, if I assume no ill intent, I'm going to assume they meant no ill intent, that it was a knee-jerk reaction. Like, I don't know what was going on in their life. I don't know what was going on that day for them. And if I knew that, if I had that missing puzzle piece, I wouldn't react to them as irritable as they are or as snarky or whatever. I'd be able to have more compassion, more understanding for them. So when I don't know mind, I don't know mind. And I'll close with this poem from Rumi, as I referred to it earlier in the talk. A quote, actually, and then this little poem will close us out here. The moment I accept what has been given, the moment that I accept what has been given, doors will open. And the poem is this: the breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. People are going back and forth across the door sill. People go back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. 5 invitations. Pick one or all 5. Don't wait. Welcome what you can, everything, push nothing away. Bring your whole self to the experience. Find a place to rest in your work, in your work day. Find a place to rest in the illness. Find a place to rest in everything in the middle of all things. Find a place to rest. And 5, cultivate. Don't know mind. All blessings to you, friends. Much love. MarthaCreek.com to contact me.